SCP-076-2 will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being. Upon coming into contact with living humans, he will enter a rage state in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only his death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a SCP Foundation KETER class object, SCP-076. SCP-076 consists of two components, a stone cube, SCP-076-1, and a humanoid entity contained within, SCP-076-2, also known as Able. 076-1 is a 3-meter cube made of black speckled metamorphic stone. All surfaces outside and within 076-1 are covered in deeply engraved patterns corresponding to no known civilizations. Radioisotope analysis indicates that the object is approximately 10,000 years old. A door is located on one side, sealed with a lock 0.5 meters in width, surrounded by 20 smaller locks in a circular pattern. As of yet, none of the keys have been found, making the door impossible to lock once closed. Interior temperature is approximately -180 degrees Celsius and cannot be altered by any means, internal or external. Directly in the center of the room is a 2.13 meter tall stone coffin, held in place and sealed shut by several chains of unknown make and substance, which are attached to the inner corners of 076-1. SCP-076-2 resembles a lean, Semitic human male in his late 20s. Hair is black and eyes are gray, skin tone olive. He is 1.96 meters in height and 81.65 kilograms in weight. Numerous tattoos depicting arcane and occult iconography are present all over the body, mostly in the form of leering demonic faces, and ranges from subtle to openly ostentatious. When encased inside 076-1, he is technically dead. However, occasionally 076-2 will awaken, effectively reanimating, complete with all vital processes needed to sustain a living human being. He will then attempt to leave 076-1. If successful, he will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being, ignoring all other living things in the process. Upon coming into contact with living humans, 076-2 will enter a rage state in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only his death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. SCP-076 was found in Mongolia in the 19th century by archaeologists from England. All members of the expedition were subsequently killed on the return voyage home. 076 was recovered from the ship of an unknown organization and placed on display in their inner sanctum. 076 remained in storage for years, until 076-2 became active and escaped on his own. The reason for SCP-076's activation is currently unknown, but it was at this point that the keys to the outer shell were lost. A massive manhunt lasting over 3 years took place until 076-2 was incapacitated, killed, and reformed inside SCP-076-1, by then retrieved and secured by agents of the SCP Foundation. 076-2 was in custody for 3 more years, under constant supervision, and was terminated whenever it became active, although it occasionally was able to escape for short periods of time, often due to security breaches caused by attacks from other organizations. SCP-076-2 either possesses a mind constructed much differently than our own or is completely insane. 076-2 has shown that he is completely disinterested in sex, barely differentiating between genders except as a form of visual identification. Also, 076-2 is a perfect sociopath that enjoys the act of killing, but causing pain, either emotionally or physically, holds no attraction to it. Intelligence tests have been wildly inconclusive when applied to 076-2, and no accurate result has yet been obtained. This is due to the fact that no communication is possible with 076-2 when he is in his rage state. However, 076-2 displays knowledge of several languages, including English, but most notable is its knowledge of several dialects of ancient Sumerian, which seem to be its preferred language. Considering SCP-076-2's proficient use of the Sumerian language, researchers have asked him to translate several documents. While he originally replied with disinterest, he has translated some of the documents it found worthy of its attention. Most of the documents chosen by 076-2 were regarding battles or legendary heroes, one of his favorites being the Epic of Gilgamesh. However, one researcher presented 076-2 with the symbol from SCP-073. Upon sight of this, 076-2 became highly enraged, killing several of the researchers before its kill switch could be activated. When questioned about this, 076-2 responded aggressively, and that line of questioning was immediately dropped. It is recommended anything pertaining to SCP-073 never be brought to the attention of SCP-076-2, and that the two are never to be in the same facility. Terminating 076-2 is often problematic due to its significant physical abilities. 076-2 has superhuman strength and speed, and although not invulnerable, he has shown a remarkable ability to ignore pain and shock, pressing on despite what would be debilitating wounds in normal humans. Prior encounters have shown that SCP-076-2 has the ability to rip through a reinforced steel security door over the course of 4 minutes of sustained assault. He could take multiple 50 caliber BMG rounds to the head and survive for several minutes to continue killing, despite severe damage to the cerebellum. He could also swat handgun and assault rifle caliber bullets out of the air with a length of steel rebar. Foundation's personnel have also seen him clear over 64 meters of distance in under 3 seconds, and survived for over 1 hour deprived of oxygen before finally asphyxiating. SCP-076-2's most unusual ability, however, is his ability to apparently materialize bladed weapons out of nowhere. Slow-motion video footage reveals that the blades in question are actually pulled from a miniature dimensional rift described as a small hole in space. Where this portal led is unknown, as is how 076-2 can generate said rifts. Footage of the blades in question shows them to be made out of a completely non-reflective black material appearing as a black void in space. As the blades rapidly vanish after leaving the subject's possession, no structural analysis is possible at this time. However, having superhuman ability doesn't make him indestructible. 076-2 has effectively been killed several times in various manners, such as sustained fire from multiple heavy caliber machine guns, asphyxiation, crushed beneath a 13.6 metric ton piece of elevator equipment, and cremation through the use of a thermate TH3 grenade placed directly inside SCP-076-2's open chest cavity. Upon death, 076-2's remains will putrefy rapidly until reduced to dust. 076-1 and the coffin within will then slam shut with great force, and the lock will rotate, sealing it shut. 076-2 will then reform within the coffin. This process takes anywhere from 6 hours to 25 years. 076-2 has nothing but contempt for human beings, with one exception. He seems to hold a wary respect for those it acknowledges as its superior. This was discovered when a Foundation's agent who had previously had a large amount of experience with 076-2 did not appear once it escaped. 076-2 seemed distressed, asking several personnel where the agent was hiding. When he knew that the agent was killed as collateral damage in an airstrike intended to halt the advance of another SCP entity, SCP-076-2 stopped its rampage and allowed itself to be escorted and restrained. When asked about the sudden drastic changes in his behavior, 076-2 replied, "Because unlike you, he was a challenge, a real enemy. He managed to shoot me in the head over several times. A man like that deserves to die in combat, not in some destruction ordered by cowardly kings and princes safe in their palaces. The rest of you disgust me. I don't even have the urge to strike you down." This indicates a possible psychological inlet into SCP-076-2's mind and a possible control mechanism. Due to his high intelligence and physical abilities, he was put into an elite unit set up by the SCP Foundation, named Mobile Task Force, MTF-Omega-7, nicknamed Pandora's Box, tasked with containing supernatural, alien, and other mysterious phenomena. 076-2 was the leader of this task force, and members of the team personally selected from elite field agents by 076-2 himself in order to maintain a smooth relationship between the artifact and the mundane elements of the task force. 076-2 must wear a device attached to the neck that, if triggered or tampered with, will immediately detonate, terminating 076-2 by way of complete destruction of the spinal cord, trachea, and all major blood vessels in the neck. A tracking device also has been attached to 076-2. It was to refrain from killing unless ordered to do so and to avoid causing damage to the organization's facilities. Team members must be armed and equipped in accordance with MTF doctrine, as 076-2 has shown no inclination to use firearms, or in fact, no understanding of their use or tactical implications. He was instead to be armed with one or more edged melee weapons of his choice. In a Project Omega-7's report, SCP-105 had been accepted into Mobile Task Force Omega-7, having beaten 076-2 in a contest to see which of the two could activate several devices, each spaced over a mile away from each other and the starting point. SCP-105 managed to score significantly higher than 076-2 by using her inherent abilities to her advantage. 076-2 ceded defeat and allowed her entry into the group. Despite the Foundation's effort in keeping 076-2 busy with trainings and tasks, he was still not satisfied. He's a perfect killing machine, and that's all he wants to do. The problem is, Foundation can't seem to turn him off. He started to lash out at the other team members. He then disabled the explosive collar failsafe and gone out of control. Containment Area 25 was forced to detonate its on-site warhead as a last attempt to contain SCP-076-2. This resulted in destruction of the site and all on-site personnel. SCP-076-2 is now kept in Containment Area 25B, located 200 meters below sea level, tunneled out of solid bedrock in a seismologically stable area. Sole access to the containment facility is to be through a vertical elevator shaft separated every 50 meters with a reinforced blast door constructed of 20-centimeter thick material shielding. Elevator shaft shall be flooded with seawater when not in use. Containment Area 25B is to be constructed with an outer security perimeter against outside threats, staffed by security personnel trained in close-quarters battle and counter-intrusion tactics. A primary containment zone is to be designed to be flooded and drained as needed, and should remain filled with seawater unless access to contents is required. Also, a 150-meter killing corridor, which is to be the sole access to the primary containment zone. A security station located at the entrance to the killing corridor is to be staffed with no fewer than 3 armed security personnel on watch at any one point in time. In the event of a full breach, all on-site staff are to proceed immediately to the closest security station for weapons and armor distribution. Staff will remain at Alert Condition 1 until SCP-076-2 is confirmed neutralized. Should 90 minutes pass after declaration of full breach without a stand-down order being given by Level 4 or higher personnel, final contingency measures will be activated, flooding the entire facility in seawater and sealing off the access shaft for a minimum of 24 hours before retrieval is attempted. This will, by necessity, result in the deaths of all on-site staff. Before we end this video, we are proud to present these incredibly sweet pieces of fan art. A big thank you to all of you. You can now send us your fan art, and we will be more than happy to show off your best art piece in our next video. Check out our description below on how to submit. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which SCP do you want to see in the next video and why it is interesting? Let us know in the comment below. We will draw your story and share it with the world. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Please share it to your friends if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!